Hey guys, Dale here, back with some more RimWorld, and Ivor and Celine just got married in Altven Keep, our first wedding in the keep. I did keep the marriage spot down here in the pub, so they have a choice of where they wanted to be, and they decided to be up here. We have some updates. So these marble runestones are from a mod called Dryads and Guar from Dryad Trees Rework. And so with that, we don't actually have to do any tending work on these Dryad trees. We don't need to do pruning, so that is great. We called out pruning work separately. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. We have immature Dryads that have spawned, but basically the connection, the amount of Dryads that we can have is based off of the tree's connection to these various shrines, and only I think the best 3 shrines count. 1, 2, 3. Maybe it's the best 3 of each type. We'll have to see. More nearby high value shrines, only the best 3 count. Okay, but it's showing connection to all of these. So is it maybe just counting like 3 of them? Regardless, I like them decoratively, so we'll be dispersing them throughout what we're calling the Faywood section of the keep. We have a few of those built. I am kind of considering extending the keep to make a connection down to this guy. So it would look something like, let's grab like this. We would have it here. So the wall would be like that. That means that we would get rid of this structure, but we would plan something else for like in this area right here. I'm thinking about it. I kind of like the idea of it extending down, the Faywood kind of extending down all the way to Fort Bear, slash, this city gate. The other thing that I'm thinking about is once we move out into kind of like the farmlands and this ranch area over here, getting rid of this ranching area and then plopping a spot down right here, that's where we'd move the animatry. And then this whole area, we would let it become kind of like forested. We put up some nature shrines and we just like let that be the animatry area. I think next to the mountain, next to the ocean, is kind of cool. A little dissonant because this is going to be this is Cogston, right? So all the mech stuff, all the construct is happening here. So I'm not completely sold on that, but I know that I want a better, more fitting place for our animatry. I have gone ahead and adjusted our plans down here pretty significantly. This used to be just kind of like a private island manor, and I decided to name the island Farhold. So, it is pretty far from everything else. It's the longest bridge that we have in town. So it's Farhold Island. We'll have the Farhold here. And I see some mistakes. Let's cut this plan and put a wall here. These will be prison barracks. So like 2 beds per cell and then like a little table and a chair. We'll have like a little research room, maybe. I'm thinking of doing like embrasures here. So if there is like a prison break or something, the guards come in and they are protected and can fire out into the common areas. And then these would be containment cells for entities. So the only reason that I'm considering activating the monolith is because of my idea over here for the rotwood. I want these harbinger trees to just like spread to the entire south side of this road. Then I don't know. Could all of this be the rotwood? We'll have to see like how out of hand the animatries need to be. I think I also want to figure out scaling on these trees. They're not included on the, can we expand? Oh, we can expand here. Okay, cool. They're not included in the majestic tree network and they don't have extra graphic, but I think we can at least scale these graphics up so that The trees are a little bit more imposing, kind of like the rest of this, so I'll see if I can get that figured out today. Our harbinger tree, sorry, our monolith is somewhere over here. It's right there. So down in the far hold, we would move the monolith here. We probably would just activate it, and then we would get like low level anomaly threats. I do have metal horrors turned off just because I'm not going to deal with medieval metal horrors again. We had at least one horrific night with metal horrors across an entire map and 60 colonists when we did House Stormguard, and I'm not going to repeat that. Dealing with like sight stealers and flesh beasts, like that's not going to be a problem though. And we can extract bioferrite from them. Maybe we could start making our weapons out of bioferrite since it is better sharp damage. I think even than plasteel. Right now we're just rocking steel weapons. So if we could get a nice supply of bioferrite, I think that would be great. What could also be great is when we're mining, if we could mine up some obsidian or something. So we'll have to see about that. So currently we're working on these rune stones for the Faywood. And I'm hoping that we get more seeds so that we can fill this in even more. These trees should grow a lot bigger, but we did just plant them like yesterday, right? We're going to build a proper hospital, and then we will convert these hospital beds just to plain beds because I think we might be short a few beds. Eventually, we won't have a hospital area down here. We'll turn this into the research room, and then we'll open this room up so that we have more space for our mech bay. Things that I would like to do. I would like to get to the level of like construct research where we can get fabricators. So high and ultra. What are you? Construct bandish, construct booster. We don't have research for like fabricors, right? But I think the fabricator mechs are supposed to be around here somewhere. What's your deal? I just assumed you're a mining bot. Mining, excavation, ultra thick armor makes it a dangerous force in combat. Okay. Not too worried about that. Maybe I need to update the mod. I do save like local copies of the mod, so maybe we'll do a little update on the fantasy biotech and see about fabricators. Because if we can get some like some fabricators, we could have the fabricators just like do all the wood cutting and stone cutting, like all the menial things, whereas like Mateo and Brix can work on making masterwork and legendary weapons and armor for us, right? So I think that's the idea. I think today, pretty similar to yesterday, I'm going to let them like catch up on all the build plans that we have out here. We are working on securing this area. We'll work on the hospital, and then I would like to secure this area as well. So I think that'll be the plan, and then we'll see what Randy does to disrupt our plans. Seamus has become an adult. It's our third child that has grown into a full-grown person. Iron Man Glutton. Glutton just means you eat faster. Quick Sleeper is great. Impatient Cook. Cooking Speed. You're not good at cooking, though, so that's not great. Decent Learner. I like that. Composed. Great Memory. Maybe just Quick Sleeper, right? Decent Learner, okay, you're going to pick things up, but Quick Sleeper, throughout the life of this pawn, you're gonna be more productive for us more of the time, right? So we'll go with that. Crafting, medical. Your crafting is crazy. Straight to the smithy with you. Construction is great as well. Yeah, you are getting ritual immediately. We'll do artistic since you're crap at art. Social. We have been complaining about having very few social pawns, and I think we're actually like pretty good with some of our pawns on social now. So Marn 14, Ivor 10, Irma, one of our children, also a 9 with a double passion in it. So Seamus, here we are. Our 3 grown children. Play is next up pretty soon, actually. And then all our other children are in the middle of school, with Lexi and Reno being our newest babies that we have. So, Seamus, Bio, yeah, we're just gonna basically copy and paste Mateo onto you, and we will assign you as an artisan right away. We might actually have you help with construction too. We can get rid of like half of these people. And we'll just take a look at the world map real quick just to see if there's anything interesting out there. There's griffins. We got our production sites. I think so. The food situation is we'll get meat and rock's leather every quadrum. We'll get corn every other quadrum. So what I want to do is keep an eye on this and maybe find 3 more farmers to send out. And so when this says that there's 1 quadrum left, I'd like to set up another ranch or another farm outpost somewhere. That way we're getting food every single quadrum. I think that would be great. And we are pretty stacked on food right now. You can see we have a lot of the corn that was delivered to us. And I don't know when meat was last delivered, but we can take a look and see how many rock's leather we have. Not that many. So I don't think meat has been delivered yet. Well, I got a little skeeved out by this one because I thought Imra was one of our children, but we have Irma and Imra. That being said, I realized Dunmore is only 19. What is this? Is this dwarf aging? At 18 years old, he starts aging at 10%, and then it increases at 35. So, because we've been here for 4 years now, and yes, he was the youngest one of us to arrive, and I guess he is still the youngest one of us to arrive. Okay, little dwarf and elf. I think that's kind of cute. I'm also realizing that we're going to be rolling in rocks stuff, and the rock's wool is not super handy, so I think we're going to go ahead and slaughter all our roxes. Let's go ahead and we don't have that many left anyway. We've been like selling them. So that's good. Peppermint, you're not a Rox. You can stay. With the Roxes gone, we don't really need this ranch here. I guess we'll leave it in case any like farm animals wander in. Like some sheep or cow or something. I don't think we need to have farm animals, but thematically, visually, aesthetically, I just think it fits. Okay, well, it was a dry thunderstorm, so we've got fires raging on some of our bridges. We have 40 wood elves. No, it's the Cult of Cain, so these are dark elves coming in. We are gonna try out our new kind of like defensive position that's a little bit more forward, so people are on their way. What is cosmetic? Load guard. There we go. 40 is not bad. I wonder why it's so much lower than what we've been seeing. Well, Randy can roll anywhere between like 50 and 150%, right? So that might be what it is. We have our rangers popping in here. Let's do a combat command there. We have Harwick, Marn, and Auric, who are going to be manning the scorpion turrets. And then our front line, let's go ahead and grab you guys, stick you right there. Let's grab you 3 and stick you here. Grab you 3 and stick you here. Well, that's more than 3, but we'll sort that out. It all looks like it's melee, so that's not terrible. Okay, so why don't you pop over there? So you can be right there. Okay. Melee folks, gather together, please. Seamus, why don't you pop up there? And then the rest of you guys go ahead and pop down this way. Melee, please group together. Range, stand behind melee. Okay, so Bella is dragging them into the melee cluster, grappling them. Go here. Oh, nice. Isha with the execution there. Okay, I think that is all right. Let's do this. Let's get you guys a little bit closer. Let's have you guys, like, we'll have you line up there-ish. Let's have you guys line up there. There-ish. Mateo, let's have you... Who is still on their way? Rhoda? Okay, so Mateo, you can stand here. And I think that is what we're going to set for defensive positions. Let's go ahead and set that as number 1. Number 2 is the east gate. You guys are free to go. Orders, let's go ahead and unforbid the things, and we're just going to feed these guys to the rot. So we'll just execute all of them. Well, something I hadn't thought about is with the torrential rain, the rivers like expand pretty drastically. So some of our bridges are disconnecting. So we'll have to see what we can do to maybe like secure those a little bit better. I have a cat in front of the screen. Oh. Who stepped on my spacebar as I moved him. I don't think it's impacting the coast very much. Like, it still looks all sandy and stuff there. And, like, this bridge doesn't look to be impacted. So it's really just the rivers that we'll have to figure something out. Yeah, like, this one is disconnected at that end. And then, obviously, here it's kind of, like, moved in a little bit. I don't think it's too big of a concern. Like you know, the bridge is out because the torrential rain is fine. You know, it's slow moving out there when it's torrential rain, so hopefully they aren't wandering too far away from base. I say as our construction bot and various colonists are going to remove roof around the map where we've been doing some mining. Clay has become an adult. Let's see, efficient, iron-willed, hard worker, and efficient. Global work speed 20, learning factor 20, hard worker 20 more. That is my instinct so far. Melee. Oh, you could be crazy warrior. We are doubled up on melee. Clay, son of Harwick, and Isha. So a half work in his own right. I think hard worker, nimble. Melee dodge chance. That's just so good. Brilliant. A brilliant guy. Crafting, medical. We'll do medical. We can always use some help there. What else? Crafting, you're decent at it. Intellectual, I don't know if we'll have you research. So maybe we just give you animals, since that's kind of related to your dad's interests. We'll do that. Play, I think, like, you're our youngest child, but I think you're our first child that's going to graduate into becoming a guard. Let's go ahead and we'll get that ceremony set up for you. Sign guard. And that's 15, but I do want Marn and I do want Harwick to attend since this is their child along with Isha. So Isha, you're there. That's Mateo, not Harwick. Harwick, do I see you here? Marn. Harwick. There we go. Let a couple more people rest. And where'd you go? Let's grab your assignment. We will assign you to guard there. And then we'll figure out your work stuff later. Oh, you got like a big hulking body as well. Inherited that from your mom. He is A very cool looking half-orc. Definitely different from Mateo. Like, you know, he's got a little puny body. Well, just like regular body. He's got the green skin. I think he might have tusks under that mustache, maybe. But he's like leaned into rafting. So I wonder what kind of half-orc he is, right? Okay, well, I thought I was recording it, but I guess I wasn't. Erin has joined us, so we had her learn the arcane tome that we've been holding, so she's become an arcane mage. In addition to that, we also taught her arcane bolt through a spell scroll, so she can shoot that out as damage. She can also shoot magic missiles. Magic missiles will do damage, and then they have a chance to confuse the target as well. She comes learning Blink. She can summon people to her, which is pretty cool. That would have been really handy when we had that incident over here with the mech cluster. We could have just like pulled the target to us. What else can she do? Teleport basically sets up like a magical construct that is like a temporary drop pod launcher. And then we can set up a gateway. I've never really used one of these gateways. I've like built them for like aesthetic purposes, but we can build a gateway and another gateway and she can power it. So that might be a way that we get around this map really quickly, is maybe we set up a gateway like over here at Fort Bear, and then we set up another gateway up here. So if people are needing to respond to either side of the map and they are a certain distance away, I don't know if they'll automatically use the gateway or if we'll just have to be like really conscious and tell them to use the gateway. Other stuff that's happened, we got play. We need to change your name. So we got him assigned to guard. We got him his outfit, his weapon. You are a guard. We have his work set up. And we did finally make one of these combat scrolls. It looks like someone, not combat scrolls, but like combat martial book. So what do we need for the martial book? 350 unrefined magicite, 80 devil strand. How much magicite do we have? We have 390, so it looks like we're working on one. And so we'll have another combat book soon, but I did use the first one. I had Harwick go ahead and write in the book. So book is just like a generic book when we get it. We had Harwick write it. So it turned it into a ranger combat book, and we turned Cal into a ranger, so you can see he has abilities here. So we'll be keeping track of Cal as he levels. Every 10 points we spend, we will have him customize his bow until it has the same amount of traits as Harwick's bow does. So he is currently our first ranger. The way that we came up with that is we added kill stats here, humanoid kills. And Cal is number 1. When it came to the other rangers, we do have Roz and Imra, who are also physically adept, so they'll be up for becoming rangers as well. Numbers, if we look at it, Roz is like right under, so we will do it in this order. We'll have Cal, Roz, and then Imra become rangers as we collect enough magicite to make those books. I think we have plenty of devil strand, right? Yeah, we have plenty for now. Well, Isha and Orca have had their baby, little baby Rosie. I think that's Rosie Orca. I think that's too adorable. That is fine. Where are you taking the baby? Oh, you didn't take the baby. You went to go eat. Baby is down here being fed by the mother in our new hospital, which is not quite constructed yet, but I guess that is fine. Rosie, you are a hybrid orc. You got some good orc stuff going on. I said I was going to be like manually converting them to like the half orc, but I like the half orcs that we've been getting have been like, I feel like pretty good representations of orcs in general. You're a little lady, so we'll give you some lips. That way we don't have to think about that later. Okay, we have our next combat book ready. Harwick, go ahead and write the book, and it will turn into a ranger manuscript. How many more of those do we need? So we need 1, 2. Go ahead and queue those up. We don't have the magicite for it. We can start growing magicite. And we're all right on food. Why don't we just like convert you to magicite? Parasite. Parasite. It's genetically engineered plant that absorbs mana through a process of arcane transpiration. The rest of the plant is glass-like thorns. Note, parasite plants will lower mana regen for all mages on the map if the number of parasite plants exceeds the soft cap. Check mod settings for soft cap value. Okay, options. Magic. Magicite. Parasite soft cap. 50. I don't even care. Like, I don't want to worry about that. I think that's a neat mechanic. I don't think it's a mechanic that I'm going to give any thoughts to, so we're just going to crank it up. Okay, we have another seed to add to our Faywood, which is great because this little, like, bald area right here has been bothering me. Let's take a look here. You can have 2 of 3. You can have 3. Oh, do we have mature dryads? If we take a look at animals, oh, we have carrier dryads. Okay. And they're unrestricted. That's great. We might be able to the lifter constructs also do production work, and if they run out of like, things to load as well as things to haul, they'll also do cleaning. So I don't think we'll decrease the amount of construction. Oh, the dryads do cleaning as well. Okay, so we'll have to keep an eye on that to see if like any of our lifter constructs start to idle or power down or whatever. If we're noticing that, then we'll reduce the amount of lifters that we have, because we're pretty much just gonna have all of our dryads be lifters so that they can do that work. That'll get us mech bandwidth back for other types of constructs, so I'm very excited about that. Oh, we have the seed. It is right there. Plant it. Oh, can we plant these really close together? We can. Let's go ahead and just stick you right there. Barn. I think it is the seed that we have to go to. We'll tell you to pick it up, but then we're going to tell you to plant it. And then we'll have, since folks don't need to be doing pruning work or anything, I guess we'll just have Barn connect to all the trees, because it's like these stones that are going to be doing the heavy lifting. These trees are finally getting bigger, so the Faywood is looking more like proper Faywood. I'm very excited about that. That's not what I wanted to do. Transparency, they do have transparency textures, and I think I have a solution for the Harbinger trees. We might give them a completely different texture, like just a texture of like dead looking trees or something, since this is the rotwood. They'll still have the tentacles that like come up and like eat all the people or whatever. But I think we can give them textures of like basically like the winter version of some of the regular trees, some of the like creepy dead looking winter trees. And get them to do the transparency thing as well as be bigger. So in the future, this will all just look like a dead wood that we put rotting corpses in, and those rotting corpses get eaten up. Well, I didn't realize that our construct spiders would be doing mining work when there is no construction work for them to be doing. What is your deal here? You are not showing a helm. Rock's leather helm. Irma, what is going on with you? Hair. Gear. Options. Go hair. Okay, and so when drafted, rocks. Oh, sorry, hood. That's there. We shouldn't have it here. Yeah, that's very, very strange that her hair is just not rendering the way it should. What should be happening is her hair should be hiding, and then the hood should be showing. But for whatever reason, it's not. I think I didn't mention that we have like a trader, and we were able to get a persona hammer, and I gave it to Saline. So that's what she's got. The hammer is jealous if she wields other weapons. What else? And minor psychic amplifier, so it makes her a little bit more psychically sensitive. Okay, that's the first infestation that we've had to deal with. And I've been pretty diligent about removing roofs from places that we've been mining, so I think all that is fine. I have named our hospital. I named it Marin's Mercy. As you guys might remember, Ivor is a Marin. He's a little merman. And one of the unique interactions from that mod is that if you have a colonist that's downed near water, then you'll get a prompt of whether you want like a friendly little ocean helper to come and help. And that's how we acquired Ivor. He is one of our better doctors, so I figured we'd kind of give a nod to him and the mod for that little interaction that goes on with our hospital. I'm still undecided on whether to extend this wall down here. If we don't, then I want to build this like little estate. I might redo the estate. So I think I'm still thinking about it. But I would make this Marin's home. Since he's our moral guide, it is very close to our future like temple. So I think that all makes sense. Other things that we really need to do is we really need to like branch our crafting out of here. So this is going to be more like dense commercial type area down here. So like a blacksmith, and we'll have storage and all that other stuff. We are running really light on storage, so we probably need to do some trading soon. I had to build a bunch of shelves out here. But I think that's going to be it for today. Tomorrow, I'll show you guys what the rotwood updates will be on the textures. Hopefully we'll have Northgate finished by then. And then we'll start working on Westgate over here. We'll leave this open so that raiders can continue to come in this way. And we will continue to use this area as just our primary gathering area. You might have also noticed that I've like thinned out some of the woods. So I have put some growing zones down, especially near the keep. So we have a growing zone down here. We have a huge growing zone down here, one right here. But these are all set to not actually sow. So they're just like harvesting things from there. So they're harvesting the mature trees. And I'm just trying to make it look a little bit more lived in. The tree growth is so freaking aggressive on the dark woods. Which makes sense. It makes it really, really creepy to kind of like have to try and navigate through all this wooded area. But as we're kind of like expanding our civilization out, I think it makes sense for us to kind of like thin some of this forest out like here. I think we can just like go ahead and grab all that. There's like some rich soil maybe. And so we'll just grab that and then we'll toggle this to off, and they'll start to thin that wood out as well. They'll start harvesting the mature trees. With all that tree harvesting that we've been doing, we have been raking up tons and tons of wood logs. So I just sent Gray on a caravan. Oh my God, this is an absurd amount of food. It's an absurd amount of food. I think I'll have to go into the mod settings. I think we can tweak this and we should like turn that way down. That like, no, we're never going to get through all that leather. Gray. So this is what I just did with the wood, was I formed a caravan. I grabbed Gray. Hide. There's so much hide. I like the rocks leather. Let's keep some of these good leathers around, I guess. Let's grab you. Let's grab you. And it doesn't matter that he's going to be over encumbered. Oh my God, this is insane. we're gonna get rid of like more than half of it, and then we might need to get rid of more of it again. But like wood logs, I just dumped 13,000 wood logs. So if we send him, he's gonna be encumbered. We can go to items and we can just like dump all this stuff that we're not gonna do in a trade. Like technically we could go trade wood logs, but it just seems really easy for us to have 13,000 wood logs to get, you know, a ridiculous amount of silver with. Okay, so that should help. The meat situation will resolve itself because I'm sure we don't have storage for all that meat, so some of it will expire. Thank you, sir, for delivering that meat and that obscene amount of leather. And I think that's going to be it for today. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. This is what we look like. As always, until next time, have a good one. Bye.